And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Giangelo's here on 224 in Boardman. It is the South Range Raider Coaches Show. This time it's volleyball, and we are just blessed, as always, to be with a man who I consider a friend, a mentor, everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for TJ Irons. You ready to do another one of these?
I think so. Let's do it.
Fifth year. You just reminded me how old I'm getting off the air. What the transition? What's it been like? You've got a full cycle and then another piece of the next generation of South Range Raiders. What's it been like for you, kind of educating yourself as you go about the next evolution of volleyball? Because we've seen it grow leaps and bounds in those 5 years.
Yeah, I mean the history of South Range volleyball has just been great. If you go back to Coach Baker going to regionals those years, and so it's been kind of nice just to get back in it. I've had my daughters have been a part of it, so even when I wasn't coaching it, I was still kind of in it, watching them and being a part of it. But the main thing is it's just the girls are all like so special to me because so many of them I meet when they were in third grade, so I know them, and then they kind of go to middle school and I miss them for a while, and then when they come back and I get to coach them a little bit, it's kind of cool to work with those same girls that you had in the classroom, and now you're working with them on the court, so it's a lot of fun.
See, you say that you meet them and you enjoy being around them in third grade. I hear that you're the ultra recruiter in third grade. That's and
right.
You're letting them know,
That's right.
Come back, Coach Irons needs you.
Yeah, if they're tall, we're definitely talking a lot of volleyball in third grade.
We need all of you. But that has to be a nice feeling, see, because I've never heard, and I'm not saying it because you're sitting here, everybody says you have to get TJ Irons in third grade. He'll change your kid. But you sit there and you make the kid obviously feel good, but you teach them and educate them along the way. How different is your coaching style from your educating style?
I don't think it's a ton different. Obviously, it's when you're working with somebody that much different age, some things have to change. The girls will probably tell you that there's times that I'm maybe a little bit too nice, and I think that's part of being in the South Range thing. But there's also times when you got to get after them a little bit too. I can't say that I get after my third graders very much. I can't remember the last time that I really had to. They're just, third graders are so much fun. But there are times that high school girls just need to be brought back to where we need to be. But they take it so well. I mean, it's a great group to coach right now. They're a lot of fun.
I know a third grader in about a year you're going to have to get after. So, but when it comes to kind of knowing when to push someone, and they always say the 6 inches on the back, a kick in the butt or a pat on the back. How do you know? Where do you learn that, or is that something you just get the feel of over the course of your coaching career?
Yeah, I think the big thing with that is just communication. We spend a lot of time together in the summer on the court, but we also spend a lot of time off the court. We go to a lot of team camps and different things. We've been to Campbell this summer. We went to Jackson Milton this summer. And when you're doing those things, you're also spending time with kids on the bus. And there are a lot of times where I'm in the front and they're in the back. But whenever I get a chance, if we're on the side and we're not playing, I just try to get to know the girls a little bit. And usually you can tell by the end of that summer, the first summer you're working with somebody, what they're going to respond to better. That pat on the back, and sometimes they need a little bit of both, but you definitely have to learn that, for sure.
What are some of the weird things that you've had to subject yourself to being a girls coach? You talk about music and lifestyles and cultures. For you, I'm sure in the front of the bus, you probably hear a lot more than they care to admit.
Yeah, a little bit. No, but we have really good kids at South Range for the most part. I can tell you one of the funny things that always happens is there's a lot of times we walk into the gym and we set our stuff up, and the JV and the varsity go into the locker room, and I hang out there and I'm up there for the JV warm-up, and then when it's about time for me to go in and talk to the girls in the locker room, if we go to some schools, I don't know where the locker room is. But if I walk around the corner, I get into the hallway where the locker room is, I just listen. And our girls take a speaker to every game, and they have a dance party before every match.
All right.
And I'm not going to say I love every word that they're listening to, but I say if they do it in the locker room, that's kind of their music. When we do it out in the gym, we have to make sure we keep it clean. But I can always find our locker room. And if I go in, and I always knock hard, obviously. But if I go in and they let me a little early, I've seen some crazy dance moves in there. Yeah, it's pretty interesting watching them dance before games. But they have a blast with it. I mean, if you can't have fun playing the sport you're in,
why are you doing
it? Why are you doing it?
What keeps you coming back year after year?
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun having that new group to work with every year. And obviously it's the kids. You say it's the kids, but the thing is, like we talk about, and I got to coach with one of the legends in the area when I coached with John Cullen in basketball. And he said every day, and I told the girls this in the summer all the time, every day is like a chemistry lesson. And we're trying to figure out, like, okay, like, I know you're really good at this position, but for our team, you're probably better at that position. And I know it's tough, but I think that the challenge of that in volleyball, because there's so many different positions, you know, you have setters that are making sure that they're kind of like the quarterback. They're touching the ball every time. You have defenders that are back there just passing the ball, and then you have the guys up front, girls up front. They get a lot of the you know, prestige because they're hitting the ball. But you've got to figure out who goes where, and that's just a lot of fun. It's a good challenge, and you just love to see how you can kind of set up your pieces to try to compete with those other teams.
You mentioned Coach Cullen, obviously a legend here in this area. Who are some other coaches that have served as mentors to you, and you've kind of taken a piece of their character or a piece of their mentorship, and then you utilize it on an everyday basis?
Yeah, my dad was a coach. He was a football coach and a baseball coach over just outside Toledo, Ohio, and it was Springfield. I have some Springfield stuff on my house, which doesn't really go over too well at South Range, but it's Springfield, Holland, and my dad was a coach, and he's obviously the biggest mentor that I've ever had. And
Sure.
I doesn't matter if it's volleyball, basketball, whatever, after every match, every game, when I get in the car, when I'm leaving school, I call my dad, and we talk. My father-in-law, Tom Titus, another guy who used to coach with Coach Cullen, but also he's coached people on the court, but he's also coached people in business. And he's just such a great, you know, piece of information for me, just a great guy to talk to. And it doesn't matter. It could be stuff about volleyball, even though he's never coached volleyball. He'll give his opinion. But he can give me stuff about, you know, relationships with people. He's given me advice, obviously, about, you know, being a good dad and things like that. So I think those two for sure. You know, I worked with Dave Pierens a little bit in basketball, and we did a good job working together. Coach McHugh, you know, I worked with him for a lot of years. There's so many that I've worked with that I've gotten, just try to take a little bit as much as I can here and there.
That's unbelievable. All right, we've talked a lot about this part, the front of the bus. Let's talk about the back of that bus and the girls this year and why we think they're going to be so successful.
Yeah, they've just come with a great attitude every day. You know, we have one senior. I feel like I've known her my whole life. Her name's Allie Irons. She's I feel some reason I know her so different? Well. What's that?
Did she spell it different? Spell it like Pittsburgh, like Irons?
No, she's just a person that, like, if you know Allie, you love Allie.
Yeah.
And I think on our team, you might not walk in the gym and see Allie being the most vocal leader, but I can tell you everybody on our team loves Allie, and Allie loves everybody on our team. So having that leadership right there has just been huge for us. You know, we've been young the past couple years, but we have, you know, we have we're pretty junior heavy. With, you know, on the outside we have Anna Toy and Addison Freedy are both juniors on the outside. We have Parker Zwingler setting a little bit, and we have Haley John is DSing for us, and then Lily Weaver is another returning letter winner that's playing middle for us right now, another junior. So between those seniors and juniors, and then we've added in some other sophomores that are kind of working their way in. You know, Natalie Burnett's done a great job for us. Ava Burnett, her cousin's doing a great job playing middle. We have Jordan Hivner playing outside, and then Abby Lensick playing. I mean, we just have a lot of girls that are able to, you know, be a part of it right now, and they all just, like I said, they've been here all summer, so we've been working on that chemistry lesson. And today we had a scrimmage and we played pretty well. So I'm hoping we're going to get it together at the right time.
You're obviously not going to have any trouble finding success. You know what your strengths are. What are going to be your biggest challenges this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge, and we talked about it before our first practice, is I think a lot of people are telling us what we're going to be this year. And they're just giving us praise and saying, you know, you're probably expected to win the league this year, or you're probably expected to be really good. You have this young team that's played together for a couple years. But I told the girls, we've really got to focus on not what people are giving us, but what we earn. We got to earn this. Nobody's just going to go give this thing to us. If we want to be in contention for the league, if we want to go win that district championship that's been out of our reach for a couple years here, they're not going to give us that. So we've got to earn it. And I think that's what they've kind of had to take to heart, is that it's not going to be given. We got to earn it.
At the end of the year, we're going to be sitting here looking back. We're going to strip down everything, the record, any, you know, personal accolades. What thing do you hope these girls do together that you can walk away and say, this was a successful season no matter what happened anywhere else?
Yeah. I mean, you hope that they remember everything that we did during the season on the court, but you know, when you played sports, you remember those bus rides and you remember those locker rooms. you hope that you remember all the happy ones, but sometimes you remember the sad ones.
Yeah.
So I guess you just hope that they have that lifelong remembrance. And the nice thing that they have that you and I didn't, you probably had because you're a little younger than me. But, you know, I have like some Polaroids. I have like maybe an old VHS tape of when I played. They've got this amazing Instagram page. I don't know if you've seen it, but Coach K, which Coach K should get a shout out here too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. But she runs our Instagram page. But I think they'll be able to look back in 20 years and see that social media page and say, oh, yeah, we did do that day. And, I mean, my birthday was yesterday, and we kind of had some fun with that at practice.
Oh.
But I would have never thought to do that. But I think they're going to do that. And, like, they just love that fun of, like, and I love the fact that they're going to be able to remember that, and they'll always have that to look back on.
Belated birthday, you say? You know what we do. So you brought it up.
No, you don't have to do that.
You know what we have to do. Are we ready? Do we have something we can give to Coach Irons? How about a happy birthday? Can we sing happy birthday? Ready? I'll start it, then I'm turning it down. It's just going to be his mic. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Coach Irons. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
There
Thank
it
you,
is. Our first birthday of the year. Only
Thank
77 more to go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sitting. It's always a pleasure
Always.
talking with you. And best of luck this season. We're rooting for you. And anything you need, we're here for you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
The late birthday boy, TJ Irons. Back after this.